Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Field of Glory 2 Medieval, an upcoming turn-based war game by the folks over at Byzantine Games and published by Slytherin Software. This is a game that takes place in the Middle Ages. It's a turn-based sort of tabletop-style war game that I'm having a lot of fun in. This is part number 3 of my first look and sneak peek of the game. And in today's video, we are finishing up the first battle in the Northern Crusade campaign. We're fighting the Estonians with some Germanic groups, or Teutons, I think, a Teutonic order. And I guess that's it. I mean, right now we're in the middle of the battle. It is going sort of mixed. The left and right flank are both under serious pressure. I anchored those flanks in difficult terrain, in woods on one flank and marshes on the other, and so the enemy's really been hammering us there. We've been having more success in the center, where they pushed back some initial units, but I counterattacked with some heavy cavalry, and in the open terrain there, we've pushed the enemy back and done a really good job there. So it'll be interesting to see. This thing feels like a pretty closely fought battle so far. It'll be interesting to see how this thing plays out. This was taken from a live stream over on my Twitch channel. If you want to see these live, I do tend to stream it a little bit late at night, but if you are interested, feel free to go ahead and click on the link in the description, and I'd love to interact with you guys and chat with you guys when we stream in the future. But with that being said, that's enough of me chatting. Let's go ahead and jump right back into this thing and finish this battle up. Okay. All right. Slight edge to them so far. Remember, the goal is to rout 40% of the enemy army, but we have to rout them by 15% more than, or 25% more than we're routed. So at the moment, things feel like they're on a knife's edge, but I also don't think we're anywhere near the end of the fight, because things, at least before this last battle, were very close. Before this last turn. Now, there were a bunch of units of ours on the right flank that just routed, so they've got a pretty decided advantage there. The center things seem a little bit more even, where we've driven them back toward the river with our cavalry. We've routed several enemy units. We'll see if they're able to rally their troops. We've broken on the left, but I've got 2 more units heading to the left where I think we'll hold steady. I can't charge past this river because it's all rough terrain behind there, so we might need to just have our cavalry fall back a little bit. Although this is the enemy CNC right here. We're still locked in combat with some of my foot infantry. Codabus, I'm not sure what all the factions are. I'd have to go back and look at the sheet. I would expect they're probably online somewhere, but I don't have all of them memorized. I believe we're playing as the Teutons. We're fighting against some pagan Estonian troops, I believe. Nice. Drove them back. And the unit on their flank routed as well. So those 2 melees went in our favor here. I gotta think fighting enemy troops who are in a river when we're not gives us a big advantage. Okay. The enemy general fell back, huh? Charge! Okay. All right, to rotate. All right, let's get these 75%. I'll take that. Flank charge attack there. All right, fall back. I had hoped they would break these guys and rush out of there, but it was not to be. Okay, so impact, they fail. Basically, the spearmen, you've got to let the enemy charge you first. Sort of what it looks like. And then once they charge you, then you've got a fairly good chance of holding them back and winning in the melee. We've got 10 turns left. Curious to see how this plays out. Feels like it could be anything from a disastrous defeat for me to a draw to a slight victory. That's kind of how it feels like it's shaping up. These open field engagements sort of in our left center are going very favorably for us. The flanks in the woods and the marshes have not, but all right, enemy infantry just charged my cavalry there that's in the open, but they suffered miserably. Who would have known knights in open field do very well for themselves? Enemy CNC is advancing. Maybe we can charge them in the flank. I gotta think routing the CNC from the field would give us a big morale boost. That engagement didn't go well, and there one of our units is routing. Units on their flank are holding firm, though. We can charge with these levies in the open here, hopefully, and stem the tide. Nice. Getting some good rolls here. Most of these melees here that we're seeing at this moment are actually going very well for us. Still more of our army has routed from the field than theirs, or is routing. But (20-6), nice. There we go. They're routing. This knight unit here, the brother knights and sergeants are holding off 2 enemy units all by themselves. So there's a 40% chance they lose on impact, but once they get into the fight, they're assured to win. I'll take that chance. They hold firm. Good. Good result. And we should beat the enemy CNC. The enemy CNC ran. But then they charged into these enemy troops from the rear and fragmented. Now their flank is open. So that's not good. All right, we broke another enemy unit. The armies are now equal in terms of the percentages of them who are routing. All right, that was a bad charge for us. It did not go well. Nice, 14-2 there. I don't know why they keep falling back. Engage them in melee. That was a good charge. That should have opened up a very beneficial melee. Instead, you ran. right. Let's see what turn number 16 holds. Both armies are 33% routed. It feels like the enemy has a larger percentage of their army that has not engaged yet, however. All right, multiple enemy units dispersed that turn. It still feels like they have large numbers of units is... like on the right flank that just haven't fought yet. That's why I'm not as optimistic as maybe I otherwise would be. God, just got myself flanked. That melee didn't go well. But anywhere our horses are, the melee seems to go fine. Just fine. Ooh, we're chewing up those guys, too. Okay, so they routed. My cavalry is pursuing. Actually pursuing into open ground, thankfully. Flank him, kill him, rout them all. That's the goal, right? Enemy CNC is engaged in combat. Can't issue orders to any of these guys because they're running. Okay. Charge! Hey, we broke him. Nice. All right. This cavalry up here is going to get flanked. Fortunately, the troops over here look like they're fragmented, so I'm not sure how effective they'll be. Are these two enemy units that are fighting over here? It's really hard to tell. It does look like it. I guess those troops retreating could be rallied. All right. Next turn. 46 to 33. We're gaining a slight edge, at least in terms of routed troops. But it looks like some of the enemy units just rallied. One of them, at least. Several dispersed, though. Keep pursuing them. The more their units that break, the lower their morale, the more likely the rest of their units will break. I think those are my troops getting flanked and crushed on the right there. We're now engaged with the enemy commander-in-chief with some of our cavalry. Yeah, this unit is dead to rights. 4 enemy units just charging into it. And they're still hanging in there. They're still holding steady. Hilladon, by the way, thank you for the follow. Oh, there they go. Yeah, these guys are going to for sure break any second. Someone just rallied, not sure who. My sub-general's just out there running for it. Charge into that cavalry here. Maybe that'll give me a 65% chance you win. All right, so the enemy CNC's lost about 50% of his troops. Let's charge these light archers. They'll evade. All right, so we've refused our flank in the open ground here. Wish I could pull this guy back. I can only seem to move him this way, which will give the enemy my rear. Okay. Oh, apparently can right-click and drag and swivel. Okay. I'm going to need to swivel this guy over here, my commander-in-chief, so that we can meet this horde of enemy troops that are focused on this one unit of mine. All right. So they're going to break, probably. These guys disperse, so that's good. All the enemy units that we can rout from the field, all the better. But every dispersed unit is one that can't rally and come back, so... That cavalry's really pursuing that one unit to the death. Oh, shit. We just lost one more of our units. How are these guys hanging on so long? I'm just leaving them there, by the way, to die. They must have a general with them, right? Yeah, they've got Walter Lang Liechtenstein, it looks like. It's okay, so they're broken routed. So we're back to even out, 43%. Nice, we broke the enemy CNC. And another enemy unit here on the left. That's got to be good for us, right? The enemy commander-in-chief is routing from the field. Charging into rough terrain, not what I want. That should at least give me a good chance not to lose. I don't want to charge those troops. fall back here. Keep good order there. All right, inflict some casualties on those archers. Ooh, nice. Flank charge, rout them. All right, I'll charge these guys from the front. Then I'll spearmen these guys from the flank next turn. Not that spearman is a verb. I'll spearmen them. They're going to get disorganized if I do that, so we'll just move them 1 hex. Okay, move my archers forward. Maybe that'll at least hurt the morale of the commander-in-chief. It's spear people. Okay. I'm getting sucked into this really bad cavalry terrain, but I don't think I've got enough time to just wait and see what happens. Whose troops are those that are rallying? Were those theirs or mine? I think it was theirs. Damn archers. Ha! They charged and hurt themselves in the charge. 16-6. Most of this melee combat that we're seeing here so far is favoring me slightly. Alright, so a bunch of our units just rallied. That's good. Let's fight with these. Really don't want to do a charge there. % chance that there's a draw, and then we won't lose once the fight starts, so I'll do that. Nice, we routed them. %97 chance of a draw, 0% chance that we lose, so I'll do that. Again, it's into rough terrain. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. Enemy will break on contact. Heck yes. Charged into their flank with spearmen. Break these footmen, or what are these? Are these light archer? No, they're foot. So, trying to rout as many of these guys from the field as we can. 92% chance we win on impact. But then we're going to get drawn into... I'll let them move 1 more hex my way. Hopefully these enemy will move in left, these two units, so they're in a little bit more exposed position. Then I'll unleash the fury of the Commander-in-Chief in on them. We are up to almost a 20% advantage. 53% of their army is routing, 36% of ours. So we're getting close to the end of the battle, but things are looking not bad. I won't say good yet. I won't say they're looking good, but I will say they are looking not bad yet. Yeah, they're trying to bring more of their spearmen into play here to maybe turn the tide of that cavalry fight in that rough terrain. Nice, they broke. We're getting real close here. Real close. We're up 20% now. Okay. Severely disorganized. That is not what I want to be doing. Kind of sucks that I can't force them into battle. Okay. Try and wither these guys down with a little bit of ranged fire. All right. Actually, did I forget about... All right. 3 turns left. I wonder if this will be counted as a draw then, if we don't get to the 25% required. I think there's a good chance we get there. We should at least route this one more unit. Oh shit, they flanked my cavalry. Alright, can we move my commander-in-chief in to make that a mistake for the enemy here? Big fight about to play out here in the center, just to the right of that rough ground. I'll take that. 18-2. All right, charge the enemy rear. They break on contact. The enemy routes. You'd think we'd be able to turn our flank. All right, so I think we'll stop these guys, the sub-general on our flank. Keep pursuing those enemy. Okay. I really don't want to get a 80% chance of losing. I just need to rout that enemy archers, those enemy archers. If I can just force them to fight. I can swing in behind these guys and hit them. I'm just 3% shy with 3 turns remaining. Or I guess 2% shy. Unless the enemy rallies. Or if my own troops could rally. If there's anybody of my troops who are still routed who could rally. Actually, turning this cavalry is going to be a good idea, because as these guys retreat, if anyone does rally, I can make sure they don't last long. Alright, a big fight shaken out here in the center. Things could definitely change if it doesn't go in my favor. Can't I just drive those archers off the map? Flank attack. This enemy unit is stretched to the absolute breaking point. Okay. All my line of sight. You can't even fire on an arc. Is blocked. Just keep hitting them with archers, I guess. If we get to melee, we won't lose. The problem is we've got an 80% chance of breaking on the charge. Or at least losing on the charge. Okay. What about here? Inflicting casualties. I mean, I might go for that charge in the event that we can't finish these guys off in the next turn or two. Are my guys gonna fall back? We're getting hit. Cavalry's being charged by enemy infantry on multiple sides. Oh, that one was bad. 18-5. The enemy reserves are plowing into the center, trying to save the day for them. Will it be enough? Alright, we just broke another enemy unit. That gives us a 26% advantage. And now another enemy unit broke, so that gives us an even bigger advantage. And we have won. The enemy has lost heart, and we are victorious in the first campaign battle in Field of Glory 2 Medieval. Sword brethren, victory. My lord, we can claim this as a glorious victory. If we review the battlefield. I mean, I'm less interested in reviewing the battlefield, but you can see here that there's obviously still a bunch of fighting going on in the center when they broke. Yeah. Okay. So if we take a look at the actual casualties here, Our own troops suffered 409 killed, 352 infantry, 56 cavalry, 710 infantry wounded, 115 cavalry. So a total of 171 casualties on the cavalry side. We also had 7 captured or deserted, so I guess actually technically that would be 178 lost in the cavalry, all total. Meanwhile, the infantry suffered 710 wounded, 352 killed, and 148 captured or deserted, for a grand total of 1611. I can't do math. 1,062, 1,070. Oh my God, 1,110. 1,210? I don't know. Math. Anyway, total casualties on our side, 1,389 men, 22%. The enemy, meanwhile, had quite a few more casualties, 823 total killed, 1,024 total wounded, 2,077 captured, presumably after the desertions started or at the very end there. You can see 2,050 infantry captured. They were very heavy on the infantry side. Their infantry lost twice as many killed as ours. They lost only 200 more wounded, but they lost better than 10 times as many captured. You can see how an enemy army completely comes apart as it is routed and dispersed. 55% of their troops as casualties versus 22% of our own. Even better when you consider they had about 1,000 troops more than we did. We went more for the quality over the quantity, and at the end of the day, that's what saved us. It was the cavalry charging in the center is what completely turned that battle from what had started out disastrously for us. Putting units in the marsh, bad idea. Don't do that. That was a lesson that I definitely learned in that fight. So you can see you successfully achieved the victory conditions for the previous stage of the campaign, and then it's got a summary of the battle there. Prestige respected. Here's the campaign score so far. Our prestige is respected. We have lost no fortresses. We have gained no fortresses. We have won 1 stage, lost 0 stages. Last stage score 2250. Average stage score 2250. Don't really know what that all means. You can see on the upper right corner here, we've got a little bit of information. 1222 AD, after an unsuccessful crusade against pagan Prussia in 1219, Conrad I, the Polish Duke of Masovia, founded the crusading order of Dobrins in 2020. It is now 2022, and Conrad is leading another crusade into Prussia. The Prussians have strengthened their positions with barricades. Will you attack their positions or attempt to bypass them? Your old army has been disbanded. For the next battle, you will have a new army of 1,218 points. So that's about 300 points bigger than our old army. But it does look like a couple of years have passed. It is stage 2 of 8 of the Northern Crusades, and we have the option of either attacking now against the enemy positions, which are strengthened with barricades, or we can attempt to bypass their defenses and attack from a different direction. The enemy may attack before all my forces are in place. So if we attack now, it says this will take you back to the previous stage in the campaign. You will be able to remake any strategic choices and force selection, and the battle will be played against on a newly generated map. Your prestige and campaign score will not be rolled back. Or we can attempt to bypass the defenses and attack from a different direction, which will move us to the next stage of the campaign, presumably. If they attack before we're in position, then I assume we may not get as many points to build our army with. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. This was the conclusion of the live stream. We did win our first battle in Field of Glory 2 Medieval. First Field of Glory battle I might have ever won. I mean, I've played a few, but I can't remember winning them. I always lose. So it was a lot of fun. It was a really interesting first look, I think. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. Let me know if you want to see more of these. And with that being said, until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.